what you mentioned is it is always easy to preach the world, but doing oneself and making it work where we are, I think that is like the theory, the rubber touching, the road, right? So that's where this is where most of the knowledge management theorist or recommendation, they have a lot of theory, but when it comes to practicality in day-to-day work, I mean, that's a different world, and practically what happens is
I
different.
know. I do believe that organizations do have KMs, that most of them are practical, because if they wouldn't be practical, they wouldn't be there after 2 years. And I do want to state that there were many trends that were fashion trends that of professions that came and went. But we have KM in the world now, something like 25 years.
Yes.
And 25 plus of it even. And we had 2 recessions on the way. We had economy problems, worldwide, global problems, and knowledge management sometimes stopped, didn't shrink, but it stopped, it waited, or it shrinked a bit, and it went on. So having it already 25 years, it's not fashion, it's not a trend, it's something real. Now, I want to go back to what I said about how about the standard, to say, I want to pass another message.
Please.
And here I'm calling the public organizations, and here I'm calling the government organizations. If you will decide and announce and declare that 5 years from now, you are no more working with organizations that do not have 3041, a KM standard, you will give the suppliers time to organize, time to prepare themselves, time to certificate themselves with the KM standard. Why do the public, the government organizations why do you want to do it? You want to do it because if your suppliers, as every organization, are based on the knowledge, and if they manage their knowledge, and if they excel in it, you get better services and you get better products. So it is beneficial to government, to public organizations, also to private organizations that buy services and buy products, to define it as a mandatory aspect. You cannot do it now from now to now because no one has it.
Yes.
You can't say that you'll do it from next year because no one can prepare themselves in such a short period. But you can define each one and one of you, every country, and I would be glad to hear about the first country that does it. We didn't do it yet in Israel. Okay. That you are demanding organizations 5 years from now to be all of them KM certified, ISO certification. Mm-hmm. So this is a call for the countries, for the governments in different countries, for public services. I also call the public services, this is something that we called in Israel, and we did succeed, to decide that every public office, that every office of one of the government offices will have a budget and be a knowledge manager.
Yes.
Role. And in Israel, they already did it partly. Today, you can have in every government office one knowledge manager. Does he really do his job? Is it really 100% of his time? No. Sometimes more, but sometimes less. But this definition changed the game, because now they have these people, and part of them at least are asking themselves, what are we doing? We're looking for courses. Yes. We're starting to do something. So if the public organizations are getting better, and if we have this demand for the private sector to get better, we are on the right way, and the KM standard can help us and can be the component that can make this happen. Of course, we need the people to demand it, to request it, to add it in.
Beautiful. I mean, I can't be more than happy to hear these words, Moria, because I think it's time that, whatever you mentioned, that should happen in next 3-4 years or 5 years. And to be very honest with you, that is one of my also envision, which I see, at least 500,000 organization adopting knowledge management standard. I know it sounds cliched, but as you mentioned, in this pandemic, what we thought was so natural to talk to your colleague and speak to anybody in your office is no more a luxury today. It is a luxury. I mean, it's not easy to collaborate with each other, and unless and until knowledge management standard is not really looked into the formal. I mean, of course, they're doing in various ways, organization, but formally creating that space in the organization, having came, I think that would be a game changer.
I think I want to comment on it, if I may, because please. I think that the standard, if you just implemented the regular way you worked or the regular way we thought about it 3 years ago, you won't solve our problems with the pandemic. Because what happened with the pandemic is that organizations brought in KM in order to better organize their documents and share their documents, their information, their documented knowledge. Okay. But we are again missing something new, because the rules of the game have changed. Right. And what we are missing is how to share tacit and explicit knowledge formally and non-formally within the meetings and between the meetings. Okay. And this is a skill that has to be redeveloped, this collaboration of a different type, because we know how to digitally collaborate using tools, and that's great. And we are very, very thankful for that. But how to speak on how to build trust and how to share knowledge within meetings is much more complicated, because we have the channel to do it, but we use the digital channel and we are much more precise and we are much more pragmatic, and we leave out the sharing of non-important knowledge. And this non-important knowledge for the meeting is very, very important knowledge for the development of the organization within the meetings. And between the meetings, if we don't go to drink coffee together or for a cigarette, we have less opportunities to non-formally share this tacit knowledge. So also within the meetings and also between the meetings, we have to rebuild new skills. And it is also a task, but our hands are full of tasks, and I'm all the day writing things that when I go to pension or when I have more time, I do also this and that and that. So I promise to try and deal with it all, but one or two at a time, because we have so many great ideas how we can enhance knowledge management in order to get to this vision, in order that this dream will not be only a dream, and we will have better KM, better organizations, and better society.
I would definitely agree. And I also believe that, the more we are working from home and social isolation professionally is also increasing. This is what I was saying to one of my colleagues. Being in office, you're able to see everything. You're able to hear everything, directly, indirectly. You feel you're connected to what's happening around you in your organization, in your department, your function. So somehow you get to know that, but now you're sitting in between four walls. Whatever emails you come, whatever you see, and whatever somebody speaks in the meeting, there's the only limitation what you have to perceive what's happening. So I think this, what you mentioned earlier, I think is very, very important point for us all to think over as to how to develop this kind of collaboration in isolation.
So, yes. And I want to go back to KMGN, because one of our projects that Vadim Sheriev, that chair, is now advancing. His main initiative has to do with collaboration. And we are starting to develop these skills, how to collaborate better digitally. Okay. Not only, but digitally, because we have the COVID-19 in mind, and we have the change that would stay with us also after COVID-19 has ended. Yeah. So we are already working on it, and Vadim is leading us in this initiative.
Okay. Oh, that's a very good news. Yeah, that's very important, I guess. I think some of these good practices, if also kind of put together and also disseminated through this medium of global network, I think so, it's bringing.
Yes. I just want to mention 4 people who are helping on this initiative with the chair from Russia, Vadim. We have Olga from Russia, Arthur Shelley from Australia, Madan from India, and myself. So it's a great project. Many people, and Sergey also from Russia. We have many people. We have a small circle, and then we have many surrounding us, all working together on this project. And we hope that it would take time, but we are already advancing.
Okay, that's really great to hear, actually. And as I already mentioned, attending the first AI class, it is really very, very impactful and very meaningful, because it's always a new insights. Learning is never ending. So for us as a knowledge management professional, such kind of global collaborative, and there's one body of knowledge like PMI and or various other bodies. There are some bodies, and if KMGN can take place that central role in disseminating, in developing a body of knowledge, and as you mentioned, which is already in your methodologies, which can be easily available to everybody. I think that would really cement our community much closer. Okay. And yeah.
So here I want to add 2 additional things. That also the KMAI materials will be available worldwide, globally, open, shared with everyone later on, because we want everyone to know, to have the knowledge. Those who come to the course get it online. They can also ask questions. They also get a certification. But the materials themselves, we want to spread out the world. And B, we are already advancing at a preparation of a second course of KM new methodologies. We are taking the methodologies that we worked with and refining them, serving the organizations better, giving better value proposition. And there we speak about change management, and we speak about collaboration, and we speak about storytelling. And we already have the full syllabus. I have everything on my desktop. It's already prepared. We are waiting to finish with this course, and then we'll go out with the second course. It's on its way.
Oh, it's absolutely marvelous news for me. And of course, there are a lot of people who would be waiting to be part of this and expand this network as well. Because in this part of world, Gulf, there is a huge opportunity, in knowledge management. People want to learn about knowledge management. With the pandemic and the oil crisis, the economic diversification, and knowledge retention is some of the important priority for them. And such initiatives will definitely help in long way to be future ready, right? Now,
and a final comment before you go to the next question. You would be very glad to hear that this course that we already designed also has an ISO lesson, ISO 3041 lesson.
Oh yeah, that's very good to hear again, because I think what we are missing is again education, awareness of the standard among our peers, and education among the managers and business leaders. I think these are the next 2 things probably we need to kind of focus to kind of, if at all, from now to 5 years now, if we have to really kind of expand the adoption, I think the awareness and session needs to be kind of more formally done, right?